we want to welcome you to the GMAP Broadcast Network. Dennis is here, and I have him on the line. Dennis, good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Kevin. How about you?
Hey, man.
No, let me rephrase that. How excited are you,
Oh,
Kevin?
oh, you know what? I am super, super, super excited, and I'm excited because
Good.
you took time out to be here with us this afternoon, and thank you so much for that. Okay.
Oh, it's going to be fun, I hope.
Oh, please! It's already fun. I tell you, I am grateful that you have taken time out to stop by here this afternoon and kind of chat with us. And I'm also very grateful that you accepted the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family here at the GMAP Broadcast Network. For those that don't know, now you know. Dennis is one of our featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. All you got to do, stop by our broadcast network platform. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors. And when you do that, you will see a copy of the publication I'm currently showing you on our screen, of Towers and Shadows. And I tell you, I want you to click on that cover, and it will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the author as well as the publications. Well, with no further ado, Dennis, I want you to come on in. I want you to do me a kind favor. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Who is Dennis Feece?
Well, my name is Dennis Feece, as you just mentioned, and at this time, I'm living in northeastern Pennsylvania. I've been here for a few years. Originally, I was born in the South Bend area, a little bit south of South Bend, which, as you know, is maybe an hour and 15 minutes south of where you're located. So I'm very familiar with the area where your studio is located.
Mm.
It's been a few years ago, but I was there for most of my, well, growing up and then into my adulthood.
Mm.
And then I moved to the Northeast, and I worked primarily in management in the printing industry for many years. And I have a family. I have two daughters. Both are grown and doing well in their lives. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very proud of them. I retired. I did take an early retirement, so that was good. I was able to do that, and I've taken up writing since then.
Well,
Um,
now we presume you are a professional author. I mean, hey, we can't forget about that, huh? You know,
yeah, that it still seems kind of new to me to be called a professional writer. I don't. I kind of balk at that. That's not the way it feels because most of my life I wasn't.
mm,
I was a writer, but not to make a living.
right.
But this is kind of a new chapter in my life, and I'm enjoying it.
I am so grateful, and once again, we thank you so much. And of Towers and Shadows. I mean, I know that you currently have not one but at least two publications out currently.
Three. Yeah.
Three. Oh my goodness, I'm behind. I tell you. Okay, well, let's talk about this one right now. Of Towers and Shadows. This is one of your latest releases, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Tell us about it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
It's the second in a series. It's a mystery, and the first novel in this series was introduced to two characters that are primary in the second one as well, and that's T.B. Stone. He's a private investigator who operates out of Concord, New Hampshire. And in the first novel, he meets Lucia Nardoni, who is his turns out to be very close. They become very close to each other. And in the second novel, it kind of continues with that story. The first one is a complete mystery with, the beginning and the middle and the end, as all mysteries have. And I believe it had a satisfying ending. However, there are a lot of threads in that first one that have been picked up in the second. So when you go to the second novel, which is the one that we're talking about today, of
Mm,
Towers and Shadows,
uh-huh.
it sort of picks up where the first one left off. It's a standalone novel in the sense that you can pick it up and read it just as it is, and it would be very enjoyable. I think if you read the first one first, you'd see a lot about the characters that you didn't see in the second one,
Ah.
and that would give them a little more depth. But in terms of the story itself, the novel itself, it is a mystery, and it's a little more intense than the first one. The first one was primarily aimed at developing the characters, but the second one tells a very intense story. and it has some really nasty villains in it, and it has some overarching themes that make it enjoyable on a couple of different levels. So
Yeah.
I hope it's something that people will enjoy.
Oh, I know it will. And you mentioned the first one. Now, what is the title of the first one?
The first one was Love, Pride, and Murder. Love, Pride, and Murder.
Sounds interesting. And of course, I just
Yeah.
want you guys to know out there that that particular cover is also placed in our featured authors area, the first and the second. And we want you to click on either one. And like I said before, it will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details. We want you to go ahead and, show your love, care, concern, and support. Make sure you go click on that cover, find out more intimate information, and share the information with all of your followers, family, and friends. And I tell you, I mean, hey, let's face it, you share everything else on Facebook. Why don't you share this too? I mean, it's real. Now, was it challenging for you, Dennis? I mean, was the writing of these novels, were they challenging for you?
Well, in some ways, I suppose that's true. It didn't seem that way. As I'm writing it, I write a pattern. A lot of people write differently. Everyone has their own style, but typically I sit down at the same time every day and write. I don't. Sometimes it's a page, sometimes it's half a page, sometimes it's 2 pages, whatever. But I know when that particular period is over, and then as time passes, I'm thinking about the story, and then the story just kind of writes itself. I've been asked before if I plot it. I sit down and write a summary and a sort of an outline of the novel, but I don't do that. I just sit down. I have the characters in mind, and I have a general idea of where I want it to terminate, and then I just let the story tell itself. I tell it in the first person. That's the piece of it that's interesting. People might be interested in this. It's written in the first person. So as reading it, you're finding out what's going on as it's being told. It's not like 3,000-foot perspective where things sort of happen. It's something. It makes it more intimate. It makes it more fun, I think.
Oh, I tell you, and of course, like I said, we're excited to have you here, and of course, we just can't wait because I gotta ask you this now. When you look back over the process and you look at all the challenges you faced writing these publications and the things that you've anticipated and or even received unexpectedly, what's next for you? I mean, what's next for you as an author?
Well, the third novel in the series is very close to being published now. I'm guessing within a month the third one will be published. So that's next. And after that, this is the three novels. The first one, Love, Pride, and Murder. The second one, Of Towers and Shadows, and the third one, which is currently without a title. I have a couple of working titles, but I don't want to give anything away that may change. But when that comes out, that will be the third. It should tie the three of them together. Can I tell you a little bit about the common theme that runs all three of them?
Absolutely.
Well, the first one started out with a passage from Genesis. I don't want to get religious here or anything, but the passage from Genesis is the Cain and Abel story, and that sort of begins it. The story, the mysteries are just mysteries. They're not allegories. They're not, they're not breaking open scripture or anything like that. But they begin with an idea, and the idea comes out of scripture. The second one, because the first one worked out pretty well, the second one is based upon the Tower of Babel story, and the third one is the story where Joshua is wrestling with an angel, with one of God's angels. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you look at that thread and if you read scripture at all, you look at that thread and you see how one sort of progresses into the next and sort of progresses into the third. And so the three of them, if you take all of them together, will tell a particular kind of story about what people are doing today that might have a kind of reflection in scripture.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to mislead anyone. It's not a Bible story or anything like it. It's a mystery. And the first one is a murder mystery. The second one has a couple of murders in it. And the third one it's the same way. And so they are murder mysteries, all
Right.
three of them,
Right.
and written accordingly. However, on a different level, there's a sort of message that runs through it, and that message tends to be biblical. And the third one is going to tie up all three of them together. So the
Ah.
idea is it's going to be a trilogy.
Oh my goodness! And once again, we are live here on the GMAP Broadcast Network, and thank God for you guys that are tuned in now and/or happen to grab a copy of the rebroadcast. And Vic, I want to thank you also. Vic is tuning in. He's one of my great friends, and I tell you, he's excited. He always gets excited when he sees me on the air. Vic, I want to thank you so much, man, and I'll be in touch with you. Once again, we are live here with Dennis. He's one of our featured authors, and as he mentioned before, the first publication, Love, Pride, and Murder, the one you see on our screen right now. We want you to stop by our platform, GMAP1.com. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors. You'll see a copy of this publication shown in that area, as well as the latest release of Towers and Shadows, the one I'm showing you on our screen presently. You can click on either one of them. As I said before, it will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the author, as well as the publications. And please show your love, your care, concern, and support for Dennis. Make sure you purchase a copy of not one but both of these publications, and don't forget the third one is coming soon. And of course, once you do so, do me a favor, don't forget to go back and leave a review. So very important. Please leave a review. Let us know what you think, how you feel, suggestions, recommendations. I'm sure Dennis will appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Very much.
And all of those that are on the outside listening in, they'll appreciate it as well, to find out what you think about it, of Towers and Shadows, and of course, Love, Pride, and Murder. Dennis, if someone did want to reach out and show their support today, and maybe purchase a copy of your latest release and or both of them, what's the process to do so? How can your books be purchased?
There are a lot of different ways. You can go online and go to Amazon or Barnes and Noble or Goodreads or Abe's or any number of places. I think even Walmart and Target, you can buy online. The other thing is you can go to my webpage, All Is Mystery, ALLISMOSTERY.com, allismystery.com. And the website will pop up, and you'll see a couple of different things. You'll get an idea what the latest novel is all about. You'll get also some information on the first novel. Primarily, it's about the second. And you'll also have a link there that leads to Amazon, where you can purchase the book as well.
Right.
And it's kind of fun to go through it, because there are a lot of interesting things on the website. So I recommend that.
Okay. Now, I had you listed as DennisAFeece.com. So I don't want to get this confused.
That's the other website. That's my personal website.
Okay. And the one that you just mentioned was, say it again for me.
Allismystery.com.
Allismystery.com. Well, that's the one I'm going to link the books to. I just want to let you know that. Now, if someone wanted to reach out to you and maybe touch base with you on a more individual basis, maybe discuss a few things with you and find out some of your obstacles, maybe some of those up and coming new authors, how can you be reached? What's the best way to reach out to you?
The first website that you mentioned, DennisAFeece.com, and that is there's an area for questions and answers, and a couple of, actually, I think there are 5 different blogs that I have on there, or stories that fit into the blog, and it's a more personal kind of website.
Well, I am so grateful for that. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's the simplest way. Reach out via DennisAFeece.com. And don't forget about allismystery.com, where you will find out all the intimate information and details about the author, as well as the publications. We encourage you today, don't forget to show your love, care, concern, and support. Please share this information with all of your followers, your family, your friends. Don't forget to leave a review. Once again, one of the publications, as I mentioned before, Love, Pride, and Murder. Dennis A. Feece, we want you to pick up a copy of that, the one I'm showing you on our screen presently. And don't forget to follow up with Of Towers and Shadows. Once again, it is listed and placed in our featured authors area. GMAP1.com. Please stop by, click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors, and I'm more than sure you're going to see not one but both of these copies right there in that area. Click on them, and it will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the author and the publications. Now, Dennis, I know you have the third one coming up soon and very soon, and I want you to make sure that keep me posted so I can make sure we share this information with all of our viewers around the world. Don't forget, I mean, we know you have our phone number, and we want you to use it. Don't, Dennis, don't be texting me. Don't be chatting. I want you to call me, okay?
Okay.
Call
I'll do
me.
that, Kevin.
Call me. Let me know. Let me know what we can do. Let me know. And I appreciate that. Let me know what we can do to assist you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And when you do so, I want you to know two things. The answer will always be yes, and you will never have to ask me twice.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I'm going to move over. I'm going to let you have your closing remarks and final thoughts here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. Let the people know how you feel, what you think, and what you encourage them to do. I'm moving over, and I'm going to say Dennis A. Feece, one of our featured authors here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the first thing, I really appreciate the opportunity to come on your station and talk to people about the books. I think you're a stand-up kind of guy, because you reached out to me, and I appreciate that. I never would have known about you until then, and I'm really glad that I do now. I feel like I've made a friend, so I hope that's not overstating it.
Oh, no, you are my friend. Don't feel like it. Know that you are.
Okay, that's good. That's satisfying to hear that. And as far as the rest of the books, I think they're good. I think they're good mysteries. I'm a reader, a lifelong reader, and my favorite type of fiction has always been mysteries. From reading Sherlock Holmes mysteries back when I was a kid, and I'm still reading them. I still like to read them. Agatha Christie stuff, the books that people know about and are familiar with. But a lot of other, anything that's a mystery, I've always read. And these, I think, are as good as any of them out there. I really believe that. And I think people will enjoy them. And as you mentioned, I would love to hear what they think about the books, for two reasons. First, because it's always gratifying to find out that people have enjoyed them, because that's why I write them. I don't write them for any other reason than that. And secondly, it helps me to improve my writing. If there are things that can be improved, and I'm sure there are, and I need to know about them. The worst thing about writing is you're kind of myopic. You don't see your own mistakes, and you can't find them out until somebody gives you good, honest feedback. And so reviews tend to do that. My guess is that people will enjoy them, and hopefully that's they're going to write about that in their reviews. But also, I'd like to see some criticism.
Right.
It's not anything that I'm afraid of, or that I think is going to be negative. So don't worry about that. Just if you think it can be tweaked a little bit. If you're a reader, then you read books like I do, and there are parts that I read that I always kind of scratch my head and wonder why it's there, or wonder why it isn't there. And I'm sure you can find the same thing in mine as well. So hopefully they'll do that. And aside from that, again, I just want to thank you, Kevin.
Oh, it is my pleasure. And you know what? I want to thank you, because you know what? I want to thank you, Kevin, all the time, and I appreciate that, believe me. But I want to thank you for, like I said, being here this afternoon and accepting the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family. You didn't have to do it, but you did. And I appreciate that wholeheartedly. Once again, he is one of our featured authors, Dennis A. Feece, and we want you to be sure to show your love, care, concern, and support. I'm going to show it to you once again. Love, Pride, and Murder. Don't forget to pick up your copy of that particular issue. And of course, we will not forget about our Towers and Shadows. Both copies are available on our broadcast network site. And of course, you'll be able to stop by either one of those websites that we mentioned. And we are definitely going to be inviting you back, Dennis, to talk more in detail about what you got coming up and some of the great things that you've been through. And we want to do a follow-up just to see how things are going with you. And like I said, if you have anything coming up, book signing, special guest appearance, we want you to let us know so we can share that information. And once again, the answer will always be yes, and you'll never have to ask me twice, okay?
Thanks again, Kevin.
We appreciate you stopping by. We want you to have a fantabulous rest of your afternoon. Continue to be blessed and be a blessing. And I want you to stay encouraged, stay in touch, and prepare for almost anything, because the journey has already begun, and we know that you are blessed, and we know your publications as well as you are going to be a blessing to so many others. You have a wonderful day, and I'll be talking with you soon, all right?
Thanks, Kevin. Take care.
All right. Dennis A. Feece, one of our featured authors here on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. Once again, Love, Pride, and Murder, and of course, Towers and Shadows. I want you to show your love, care, concern, and support. Purchase a copy, share the information, and leave a review. Until next time, we want you to be blessed and be a blessing. I'll talk to you really soon. Yours truly, Pastor Kevin, doing what I love because I love what I'm doing right here on the #1 station in the nation, GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. Keep it locked right here on the show.